just going to pick up the boy, and I was having a chat to my colleague who was born overseas about the Sam Kekovich Australian lamb ads that come out every Australia Day. And I don't know how long they've been going, but I always enjoy them, partly because I'm interested in just the advertising fad, the psychology behind how it keeps getting picked up and perpetuating this narrative of the Aussie Ocker, and having the difficult job of sort of amalgamating that with multiculturalism and ultimately how to inspire people to buy a product based on pure nationalism of lamb. Anyway, I over-explained that to death, but I'm thinking, where does the word Ocker come from? Is it a shortened version of another word? For overseas people, I don't know, you'd have your own version of the word, but it's like the way folks speak that are sort of unique to different countries. Makes me wonder what like we've been looking into Japan a bit lately, and was interested to know that I would be restricted from onsens, me, pillar of the community, because I have tattoos, because they associate that with an old gang culture and a lot of violence that came from the symbolism of what these cultural tattoos mean on a bunch of people. I can't recall the name of what their group's called. But yeah, what would a Japanese version of an Ocker, person who speaks in an Ocker way, be? I think I learned, correct me if I'm wrong, that in India, where I've spent a bit of time, there's a bit of a term called Desi, which basically just means, someone from a rural background, and maybe that's associated with lack of access to sort of sophisticated modern themes or education, which is broadly very true, of course. So Desi, but I also think it's a term that's applied a little bit to women, Desi girls, probably a bit like dairy girls, I don't know. Is that Welsh? Where is that? Alright, completely rabbiting on. But I definitely, obviously, as you know, am obsessed with other cultures and trying to expose Ambrose to all these different types of cultures, slowly but surely. And it's a delicate balance, isn't it? It's not just about food, it's not just about fancy looking buildings or pretty clothes and music, and all that stuff's fabulous, but each culture, like all of humanity, has a very challenging side, and the things that have happened. Ambrose has got it in his head that America has committed all these war crimes. Of course it has, everywhere has, but I think he might be talking about Hiroshima. And the bombs and stuff, I'm not 100% sure, but when he gets an idea in his head, he doesn't have the world's best filter. Not to mention what comes out when we talk to Germans and stuff. Oh, hell's bells. So that's okay, that's part of my job, isn't it? You want them to be proud, to a certain degree, of some aspect of their country, their culture, even though I consider my family to be pretty cultureless, not in a chavvy way, but we don't have strong traditions like, say, a lot of my Indian friends, and there's no car parks because of all the cricket. Oh my lord. into a debacle. Another debacle. I'm just making bad decision after bad decision. There is not a park in this entire school. Yeah, right, Mercedes. You're in a hurry, I get it. I was up too late researching vans, you know, as a wannabe van lifer. Or better take this part. And then I eventually concluded I don't want to live in a van with a cat and a kid in the heat. No, thank you. Oh God, there's actually a place where it's like an open funeral, cremation place that's very normal in their culture, to go by the banks of the river, and sort of that's where the bodies get cremated, out in the open. And to us in Australia, that's not how we roll with death, you know. But it's just so out in the open there. But gosh, wouldn't that be confronting as a tourist if you've got no level of exposure to that? Oh, that would be quite hard to observe, I feel. But what could be more kind of real?
Yeah.
So how was your day?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, good.
What were the highlights?
Don't know about that.
I haven't really raised you in a similar way to how I was raised, because I had lots of siblings and we'd play a lot of board games because we didn't have computers, of course. And so there was a lot of board games and competition and winning and losing and having to be a good sport, or understanding the rules and then getting better at things, that I haven't really done too much of with you.
Yeah. Oh, look at Monkey.
There's our pusscat.
Why does his head look smaller than usual?
He hasn't been playing chess with his brother. Guess what arrived in the mail?
What?
My international driver's license. That's exciting. I've never had one of them before. Oh my gosh. The world is our oyster. On the road again.
Australia has dropped out of the top 10 happiest countries list for the first time ever.
That can't be right.
Is this real?
Yeah, we're 11th.
We're not behind the palms, are we? God no.
How can any country be happier than Australia? Australia's the best country on earth.
There you go.
Get station line! Get station line!
Completely rabbiting on. I'm just making bad decision after bad decision.